Welcome to the farm this morning, guys. Another busy day here on the homestead. We want to share with you guys some problems that you might encounter homesteading. You know, for those beginner homesteaders, those people that are thinking about homesteading, you're wondering, what's it like to homestead? What problems am I going to encounter? Well, over the last couple of years, we have encountered quite a few problems ourselves. We got a few that are ongoing right now. One in particular that we're going to work on today, but we're going to show you some tips, some tricks, some solutions to keeping your homestead safe and problem-free. So come along on the Run Amok Homestead as we get things done. This here is a room that you guys may not have seen before. This is our cold cellar. We're below grade here on the homestead, and there's concrete all the way around this room. This room is perfect for our storage. We're gonna go inside and show you guys a problem that we've had over the last year or two, and some of the things I've done to try to fix it, and it just isn't working. And today we got a solution for the problem that we have going on in our cold cellar right now. Here it is, guys. This is our cold cellar. You can see the dandelion jelly that we made this year. You can see some of the stuff that's left over from last year. We still got some pickles left and a little bit of tomato sauce from last year's tomatoes. This was full though, all through the winter. All these racks, guys. That's just how much food we go through here on the homestead in a 12-month period. Now, we do pick up a lot of stuff in town at Costco and other places when a lot of our fresh produce runs out by October. But as for canning, we try and do as much canning as possible. Now, you guys can see all around me here, we have concrete walls. And with concrete walls in a cool room, what do you get? You get water. You guys can see right here, the floor is dry here in this section, and over here it's damp. You can see where I've already tried to paint it. I used a concrete sealer, figuring that moisture was coming through the concrete wall because the house does not have a vapor barrier on the outside, which you should install when pouring foundation. So after trying a whole bunch of products to try and combat this moisture problem, I started thinking it's not really a moisture problem coming through the concrete as much as it is us opening this door and simply letting warm air in, hits the cold concrete and creates moisture on the inside. So painting the concrete's not going to stop the moisture problem and of course the puddling on the floor. What we need to do is we need to insulate the walls with something that's going to stop the warm air from hitting the concrete and causing condensation. I'm going to show you guys exactly what that trick is to help you guys with your cold cellar and possibly having a moisture problem and make that moisture problem go away.
What we're going to use to try and combat the water problem down here is we're going to use this 1/2-inch foam board, and this is rated for R30 insulation. And what you're going to do to install this is you actually need to get some construction adhesive. And this one's just from LePage, and it's good for all different kinds of things like concrete and granite, foam board, vinyl, pretty much everything. What we're going to do is we've kind of cut these sheets down a little bit because we had to fit them in the truck. We're going to measure and make sure they fit properly, and then we're just going to use a knife to cut them. It's really easy to cut through. To prep this surface, I'm just going to make sure that it's clean and dry. I'm going to use a caulking gun and put a little bit of adhesive on the back of my board. I'm going to stick it to the wall and then I'm going to pull it off. And I'm going to let the glue get tacky for about 2 minutes. And then I'm going to stick it back on and it should adhere no problem. And because there's no weight or anything, we're just going to use some tuck tape on our seams to hold it together, and then we're also going to finish it off by using some spray foam along the top edge like you see here, and also along the bottom edge to make sure that it's completely sealed, and hopefully that's going to combat our water problem we have down here. So everybody's seen these, the tubes go in it, it's a caulking gun, but one thing you probably don't know is on the handle right here, this little hole. Now that's actually a knife to cut the tip of your containers. I don't know if anybody knows that or if it's something new that I just showed you, but I didn't know that for a really long time, and it's actually kind of handy. You just put it in, squeeze your handle, twist it, and now your tip's cut. Perfect. The handle may cut the tip off, but you still have to poke a hole inside. So I'm going to use a screw. Manufacturers who make these, you need to install something in the handle there so I can just slide it in and poke a hole in it. so I don't have to keep looking for random screws and then trying to poke holes like that. And now I have a screw covered with glue. I'm going to put some of my adhesive on this board. Now, it doesn't matter what side you use, it's exactly the same. We're going to put the glue on this side and hide the writing and poor Mr. Pink Panther here. But you can do the other side if you want to be able to stare at the Pink Panther. I'm very weak today. You don't need to put a ton on here. Okay, so I think that's probably enough adhesive. I'm going to push it against the wall and then I'm going to peel it off. We're going to let it tack up for just a couple of minutes and then I'm going to stick it right back on the wall. And that should be enough to hold it in place. My assistant will hold my glue gun here. Okay, so we have our first piece attached to the wall and glued. I'm going to go ahead and measure for our next pieces. Once we get all the foam up, we'll show you guys the next step. You can see behind me, we've got all of our foam board attached to the walls. What we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and take some tuck tape and we're going to just tuck tape over all of our seams to make sure that it's airtight. After that, we'll show you the final step to sealing off this wall to condensation causing moisture. We have all of our seams tuck taped, and the final step to finishing off this insulated wall is spray foam. Now, we love this stuff. You may have seen us use it in lots of other videos before. It's great to have. What I'm going to do is spray a bead across the bottom, one on the top, and any places like this that were too small to get foam in. When this hardens, what it'll do is it'll block out all the moisture, and hopefully the floor is already drying in here, so hopefully it'll keep the moisture out of this room and we'll be able to put all of our canned goods back in here. I'm going to shake this for a minute and then I'm going to go ahead and start spraying. We have everything all spray foamed and this room is done. This cold room is going to be very dry now and we'll be able to store all of our canned goods in here with no issues. There shouldn't be any more bugs in here because we've sealed every area. We're going to take you outside and show you a couple of tricks that we use to protect our animals and our homestead all year long. The thing with having chickens on the farm, as you see behind us, is they have feed, and that feed attracts pests like small field mice and other rodents on the farm. One of the ways we found to combat and keep our mouse population down is by building a bucket trap. Now, this is a really inexpensive way to make sure that you can keep your coop mouse free because nobody wants mice or anything in their coop getting into their feed. While we do keep all of our feed in locking metal cans, this just makes sure that the chickens area is also free and clear. It's really inexpensive to do and you probably already have all the materials at home anyway. You need a 5-gallon bucket. Most people on a farm have buckets aplenty. Some sort of an item to put a pop can on. We used a plastic coat hanger. You can use a metal coat hanger, a doweling rod, anything you have just to go through one side of the bucket and out the other. Next is a simple pop can and some peanut butter. Now you can use just plain peanut butter. I added some scratch grain into ours just to make it a little more enticing. I'm going to put this pop can through my coat hook here. There goes my spoon. That's why it's helpful to have an assistant. You're basically just going to put your pop can on here. We've drilled some holes in the sides of the bucket. I'm going to stick this on and then we're going to use the spoon to spread some peanut butter on here. Put a couple inches of water in the bottom of the bucket and put it in a corner. Now, mice and other rodents like to travel against walls and a corner is the perfect place to put it so that they get enticed by the peanut butter. We're going to go ahead and put this one together and show you guys the finished product. We have our bucket trap all put together. We've put our can on our stick here and we've covered it with our peanut butter mixture. Now I'm going to show you guys the best location to put one of these. For us here on our homestead, one of the best places we found to put this bucket is right in this corner. Now this is where the old fireplace was and it's directly across from both the chicken coop and our gardens. So because the mice like to travel around edges of buildings, this is a perfect spot to put it. As they come around the corner, they get tempted by our peanut butter mixture. We've actually caught several mice with this, and it's been really good at helping us keep the wild mouse population down near the chicken coop. While we're on the subject of chickens, I wanted to show you guys a few of the things we did around our chicken run to help keep our girls safe while they're out during the day. Now, a lot of people free range their chickens, and that's great. However, we have a lot of predators here, and we wanted to make sure that our girls were kept safe when we couldn't be watching them all the time working on the farm. We've built them a huge run, as you can see behind us here. It's 50 feet long and it's 30 feet wide, and it's attached to their coop so they can come and go during the day as they please. Now, for those of you that are new here, we actually lost one of our girls to a hawk last year, and since then we have made some changes. One of the main things we've done, don't mind the chicken in the background, she wants to lay an egg, is in the center you can see that there's a lot of tall bushes with cleared area around. Now that's what we call the chicken safe zone. That's a great place for the girls to be able to run and hide should our rooster sound the alarm that there's a predator and they're too far to make it back to the coop. We've seen them a lot of times run and duck into these bushes to hide and make sure that it was safe before they come back out. That way they can then make a quick dart up to the coop and run inside where it's safe. There is another thing that we've added to the coop to protect the girls from hawks, and I'm going to go around and show you that now. If you look up at the roof of the coop behind me here, you'll notice that we have an owl statue. Now that's been a great deterrent for us in keeping hawks away. We haven't had a hawk come close to our chicken run since we installed the owl. We've seen them fly around the area and keep moving. So that's been a great deterrent in helping keep our girls safe. With the changes we made this year, we've been really lucky and haven't had any losses of our girls to any predators this year. We're really happy with those changes in keeping the girls safe. But now I'm going to show you guys another security feature that we have on the homestead that you might not yet have been formally introduced to. This is the oldest member of our current security team. This is our border collie, Toby. Now, Toby came with us from BC. He made the 6-day journey with us, and he is the oldest member of our border collie pack. Toby just turned 16 this past June. So he's slowing down a bit, but don't let that fool you. He still likes to make sure everybody on the property is safe. He likes to do his daily patrols to make sure that the chickens are where they belong and also where the dogs are. He loves to help with the watering. He's always up for a game of hose. He loves to be sprayed, and he still will play fetch with you if the moment arises. But he is slowing down. He does like to spend most of his day sleeping if he can. Even though he may be 16, we definitely hope that he has at least a few more years with us here on the farm of relaxing and spending his days playing with the goats and the kids. We're going to go get the next member of our security team and show you guys him. Now this is Freddie. He is a 2-year-old purebred border collie, and his job on the farm is security by far. Freddie is our guard dog. He does not let anybody or anything come anywhere near the property or the kids. To give you guys a little demonstration of just how protective Freddie is, have a look at his reaction here. And he also has made himself Grand Chicken Watcher. He watches all the babies when they're in the brooder boxes, and then when they move outside to the big yard, he's right there watching them as well. He's also always up for a good game of fetch. This is the last member of our current security detail on the farm. This is Karma. She is a 2-year-old purebred border collie. She is a great addition to the farm. She absolutely loves the kids. If you can't find her, she is wherever they are. She is by far their biggest protector. She's always up for a game of fetch. and watching the goats is her favorite. Now, Karma and Freddie are both purebred registered border collies, and they will be bred on the farm here, hopefully in the next year, and we will have a litter of puppies moving forward to carry on their good lines and genes. We definitely can't imagine the farm without our border collies. They are the best line of defense we have against any predators here on the farm. Thanks so much for hanging out with us on the farm today, guys, as we introduce you to some of our predator protection. We'll see you guys in the next video. As always, thanks for watching.